Warning: this video contains information about harvesting wild edible plants. If you are not an expert in botany or don't have experience eating wild edibles, please consult a field guide. There are many good field guides available from your library or online, and you should not eat anything unless you're 100% certain that it is edible and not a toxic plant. Thank you. Good morning, urban gardeners. Today's video is going to be about finding edible weeds in nature. It's the end of April, so this is the time that you could find these things. I am in a small forest adjacent to my school, and I was just doing some weeding here and thought, you know what, I see a lot of things that people could be eating right now. Food security, okay? So I'm going to turn the camera around and we are going to start. So the first edible weed that I think everyone should be eating is called the dogtooth violet. And there's really nothing that looks like it in my opinion. So you can see the shape of the leaf, it's kind of like a heart shape, and if you pull out the root, or well, that's not really the root, but this is what it kind of looks like as well. So it's high in vitamin C. You know you're in the right spot because at this time of year, so end of April, you'll see their little flower. So that's like, it looks kind of like the violet you'd have in your garden. A lot of people do have these in their garden, either by accident or on purpose. They're edible cooked or raw, and I think basically just add them to salad. They're a bit mucilaginous, which means they're a bit like gummy in a way, a little bit fibrous, but you know what, when I mix it in with a bunch of greens, I don't actually even really notice, but I do notice the health benefits. Next thing you could be finding right now is catnip, Latin name Nepeta, CATARIA. You know it's catnip because when you look at the stem, it's a square stem. Oh, that's not in focus. Can I make it there? That's better. It's a square stem, like a mint, and if you give it to a cat, you'll know that it is catnip because they're going to go crazy for it. So another thing to know about catnip is that you can eat it raw, like the leaves in a salad. I don't do that though. What I do with catnip is I put it into a tea. And they actually say that it's like a anti-anxiety kind of thing. It calms the nerves, it soothes you. My professor, Dr. Costea in biology at Laurier, always used to say cannabis for cats. It does not at all have the same effects as THC, so you're not going to go crazy like your cat will. You'll feel a bit calm, like if you would take CBD. So it has none of those compounds as far as I know, but it definitely does do what it says it does, that is make you feel calm and relaxed. Not to the point where you're dopey and cuckoo, but to the point where you just have a general sense of well-being. You can also identify it by its flowers, so they look like mint flowers. I'll put a picture on the screen for you. I don't have it, it's not in flower right now, but it does have white flowers, so that's another way you can figure it out. Next on our list here is the dreaded burdock, also known as burr. This is the perfect time to start weeding out your burdock. If you find this, get rid of it, unless you follow Chinese medicine, because Chinese medicine actually says that burdock root is extremely healthy. I am actually right now taking burdock in something called Essiac tea. I'll send a link to that. So Essiac tea, it's got burdock in it, and it has all sorts of other things like slippery elm, and it's an extremely high antiviral, antifungal remedy, so I take that as a tea. So I'm going to do my own burdock processing, and I will show you that in another video. Here is the tap root. So it's a tap root. There's two kinds of roots. There's the fibrous grassy kind of roots with all the hairs all over the place, and there is the tap root like a carrot has, and also our next plant that I'm going to talk about. But the burdock root, if you do not get this whole entire tap root, you will not get rid of your burdock. But this is what you're after. This is the root that you are seeking with burdock. And you want to get the new baby burdocks, because otherwise it's way too hard to process. So burdock, in the summer, everyone always says, oh, look, we have rhubarb in our garden. No, you don't have rhubarb, you have burdock. Did not have to go far at all to find the next edible that you can get right now. It is the dandelion. I have it right here in front of me. I think everyone should know what dandelion looks like. You probably know what it looks like as a flower, but here is what the leaf looks like now when it is ready to be harvested. So here is dandelion, Taraxacum officinale, if you like Latin. It looks like a spear almost, with different leaves, little bits coming out. You'll know that it's dandelion and not something like, say, wild lettuce, because it grows all at the ground level. It's called a basal rosette. You might even be able to find a little flower head starting to pop up. Yep, there's one right there. So it is unmistakable in my opinion. So that's going to be the dandelion yellow flower as you know it. These are straight away edible in your salad. You can cook them like you'd cook spinach, blanch them, steam them. They are so high in iron, they are ridiculously high in minerals, and it's because of the taproot. So when you dig it up, you're looking for, yeah, you can just pick the leaves and put them in your salad after you rinse them off. But you can also do something with the root, and it's the taproot again. And taproots are really interesting because they go down really deep and they pull up all these minerals. So the roots and the leaves become rich in minerals because, let's see if I got it. I did not get it. My shovel broke while I was weeding. That's what happens when you buy from cheap stores. I won't say any names. But yeah, anyways, sorry, that was a tangent. I go on those a lot. You're getting all of the nutrients that are deep down in the soil that maybe don't usually get pulled up by plants. So again, I didn't get the taproot, but you know what? I'm here for the leaves. If I can get the root up, what you can do with it is you can roast it. So you can put it in your oven. Sorry about this shaky movement. You can put it in the oven and you can roast it. And they actually used to do that back in, I think, Britain in World War II. It's a little bit of a taproot here. They would do it like with chicory, which is another herb that we can get right now, and they made it into a coffee substitute. Here's a special wild edible that I actually put in this forest. It is called May apple, and it was once extremely abundant in our woodland forests in Ontario, but now it's not so much because of our next friend, who is a horrible Eurasian invasive. So that's coming up next, but this is the May apple. You can eat the fruits in the summer. Squirrels love it. I love it. But I just put it here to try to reclaim the forest, so good luck. Our final wild spring edible that I want to talk to you about today is garlic mustard. If you happen to be one of my science students in grade 6, we have a unit on biodiversity, and this plant is absolutely destroying our biodiversity of the plant kingdom. Why? It is a plant that is something called allelopathic, which means that as it grows, it puts certain, I think, hormones or enzymes into the soil. So anyways, chemicals into the soil that kill everyone that is around it. You would know another example, a black walnut tree. So if you ever have a black walnut in your yard, you'll probably notice that there's very little that grows around it because it has that allelopathic toxin, if you will. It's a plant toxin, but it's perfectly harmless for humans. So I'm going to show it. I'm going to turn around the camera. Garlic mustard, Allium petaria, or petulata, I believe it is in Latin. So it is all over the forest floor. You might have it in your backyard. You can see it grows like got some hairs on the stem. This is the almost flower. It will be a white flower. It's a mustard family, so it's, I think, the brassica family. You can eat it. Leaves, I don't ever eat any other part but the leaves. And also the flowers are edible, and you would definitely know that it's garlic mustard because it tastes like a little bit of both. So here it is growing in the smaller baby-like form. So you can see the leaves are a little bit different when they're younger, so they're not as heart-shaped as this one. They're fairly easy to pull up, but when they get into making their seeds, that's when it's dangerous because they make so many of themselves. It's almost impossible to get rid of them. You can eat them at this stage. I wouldn't eat them when they're too much older. Like the one that I just picked is perfect. Look, see, here it is again. And this is the thing that my school, my garden club and I, we've been trying to get rid of garlic mustard since 2012 in this forest. So that's 8 years, well, I guess 7 years. But it's very difficult to eradicate. And so what do? We eat it. That's the best way because no other animal is adapted to.
Here's the garlic mustard when it's in bloom, so the white flowers, like I said.
So that was my video today, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, like, subscribe to our channel, Durham Digs. Comment below if you want to see anything particular. DIGS.CA, that is our website. Please go over there, maybe give us a donation. We are 100% runoff donations. We have a board of directors who volunteer their time to make videos, to support community gardens, to promote urban agriculture in Durham region, Ontario. And we sit at a lot of different tables for policy creation. We've worked tirelessly to reopen our community gardens amid the pandemic because they are not recreational, they are an essential service. So because of Durham Digs and other amazing organizations throughout Ontario, we reversed the government's decision. It took us a month to do that, maybe a little bit longer, and it was a lot of time spent. So send us a donation if you agree with what we're doing. DurhamDigs.ca. The link will be down below. Thank you so much, everybody.